Thank you, Rahulji. So, as my friend Rakshit was saying, like public into service or public into politics, which one you prefer? Like one Indian youth should be more into service or like complete into politics?
Look, don't have a rigid idea of what political action is. And in the same way, don't have a rigid idea of what service is. Those two can overlap, right? Politics is much broader than fighting elections or giving speeches, right? Politics is about influencing how people think, and you can be very political and not be directly involved in the political system, right? Or you can be deeply involved in the political system and not be doing politics at all. So I don't think you should think that those are two different avenues. You should do what you like. And in what you like, you can do politics without a problem.
I think we have time for another couple of questions, right? So, Dr. Mehrotra, can we have the mic here, please?
The guy in the yellow shirt.
I'll get it. Yeah. Okay. We'll get to that.
First off, thanks a lot for being here. It's a rare opportunity and we're truly grateful. To me at least, and I could be wrong here, it almost seems like there are two Indias. One that is reaping the benefits of the growth that we see, and then one that's being kind of bypassed. There's still unacceptably high number of people living in abject poverty who don't even have access to the very basic of quality education. What vision do you have to ensure that this India that's kind of been cut off at least gets some benefits, and that it's a little more equitable, the benefits of India's economic growth?
There are clearly two Indias, and very small percentage of people benefit from India. The vast majority of people don't benefit from it. And if anybody talks about building a country, talks about progress, you simply cannot ignore this fact, right? If you look at our institutions, our businesses, our legal system, anywhere, you will find that it's captured by a very, very small percentage of people. Now, one of the things that I keep saying is that in the 21st century, you need data. And you need to understand the extent of this capture. I think when people actually understand the extent of this capture, they will be shocked, right? And so, for example, the idea of a caste census is a way of shining the light on this capture, right? It amazes me when people say, oh, there shouldn't be a caste census. It's like saying his leg is broken and there shouldn't be an X-ray. Why not? Right? What's the problem? What's the problem with an X-ray? Second thing is the issue of skill, right? You've heard of the Eklavyas story?
Yeah.
You've heard of the Eklavyas story?
Yes.
If you want to pin down what is happening in India, it is millions and millions of Eklavyas stories every single day. The people with skill, their thumbs are being cut off. They're not being allowed to operate. They're not being allowed to thrive. And it's happening across the board. So, respect for skills, supporting skills financially through technology, that's how you'll unleash India's power. You're not going to unleash India's power by empowering 1%, 2% of India. And, it's not interesting for me. So, I'm very passionate about this. I'll give you an example. Sometime back when we were in government, we were talking about skill development. And the gentleman who was running, he was appointed by Manmohan Singh ji for skill development. He came to see me. And we were having a conversation. And he was explaining to me how he was going to build ITIs. And he was going to put trainers inside ITIs. For plumbing, for hair cutting, for carpentry, for stuff like that. And I was listening to him. And I asked him a question. And what I said was, look, you're building these ITIs. And I gave him an example. I said, let's say you want to train 1 million barbers. Now, in your model, what you're going to do is you're going to have these ITIs, 1,000 of them across the country, and you'll train these barbers. But that's not where the barber's skills lie. That ITI is not where the barber's skills are. The barber's skills are with the barbers. So I said to him, why don't you do this? Why don't you set up certification centers? And then go to every single barber in India and say, listen, this is what we'd like you to train. For every guy you send to our certification center, we'll give you X amount of rupees. So let's say you have, 1 million barbers in India. And you go to 1 million barbers and you say, listen, you guys have the skills. We want to train barbers. And now start training barbers. And for every guy you train, send him to the certification center. And the moment we find that he's certified and he has been sent by you, we pay you. How long will it take you to 1 million barbers? 2 months? 3 months? Right? He just looked at me as if I was crazy. Right? Because for him, the skill isn't there. The skill isn't the ITI. But actually the skill is with the barbers, with the plumbers, with the carpenters. Those guys have the skill. That's the skill network. So why are you not using it to train? Just recently I was driving past Sultanpur and I walked up to this shoemaker. It was amazing because the guy says to me, I said, what's your biggest problem? He says, I've been working here for 40 years and nobody has ever respected me. So he says to me, the only man who has ever respected me is my father. Right? So I was thinking about this. And then he says to me, there was this scheme. And they said that, they've got this scheme for shoemakers. It was in Lucknow somewhere. So he says, so I, went to Lucknow. And I said, so what did they do? They said they're going to teach me how to make shoes. He says, but I've been making shoes for 40 years. And I could teach those people how to make shoes. Right? So it's a fundamental disconnect with where the skills are. There's no shortage of skills in India. There's shortage of respect of skills in India. So you want to find the best carpenters in the world, they're sitting in India. But nobody respects their skill. Nobody actually tells them we believe in you and we want you to build something. Right? So you can't build industry without respecting skill.
Thank you. Maybe we are in time for one last question. So the lady here in the stripes, can we give the mic to her? And I request our ISA officers to come on this side, please, on the stage, while we do that. Go ahead.
So as we all know, the female labor participation in India is quite abysmally low, and no country can ever progress or become developed with only 50% of their population working. So what would Mr. Gandhi's plan be for increasing our labor participation of women?
It's not just labor participation. It starts with a bad attitude that Indian males have towards women. And I don't mean every single Indian male, but a large number of Indian males' attitudes towards women is just, it's ridiculous, right? So it starts there. And it's a particular way of thinking about women. And you see it, we see it in the political system, we see it in the business system, we see it everywhere. So I'm very big, number one, on political participation of women. Reservation bill to start with. Ensuring that women get into business, ensuring that women are supported financially if they want to open their business, and then making sure that it is made easier for women to participate, right? Women have their own particular issues that you need to take care of before they can start to participate. So I think the first thing is of thinking of women the same way you think of men, right? That they can do anything men can do, if not better, and that they are equal and better in many, many things. You know? Also, by the way, this is part of the ideological fight between the BJP and us, right? The BJP and the RSS believe that women should be restricted to a particular role. They should stay at home, they should cook the food, they should not talk too much, right? And we believe that women should be allowed to aspire to whatever they want to do.
Well, Mr. Gandhi, if I just say that it was great having you on campus, that is a big, big understatement. But can we give him a round of applause?
Stay ahead with our cutting-edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.